What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Martin, aka Level, here, back today with another video. And ladies and gentlemen, there is some drama and some controversy going on between BTS and the Grammys right now. BTS just need to say the word and it's on site with the Grammys. I mean, Army is ready. We're backing them up. You see the post here. I believe it started with Namjoon posting something first, and the boys followed up right behind their leader and continued to post the same thing. But this all started about a month ago. I don't know a lot of information, which is why we are here to watch Bora's newest upload, which is BTS is boycotting the Grammys, her initial thoughts. And as you know, the homegirl Bora always coming through with all the information that you need to know, as well as her opinion, but definitely the homegirl does her research. And so anything I need to know, she's going to have it all in this video. But Bora definitely comes with her research, and I absolutely love her for that. So shout out to Bora. Make sure to click the link in the description down below to this video, as well as the link to her channel where you can go follow her. She is live, I believe 2 or 3 times throughout the week, where she gives updates on BTS and stuff like that as well. And so anything you need to know, she's got it for you, the ins and outs and everything involved with BTS. So shout out to her. But this started about a month ago, and I believe the Grammys had kind of changed the way that they are handing out trophies this year. Before we get into the video, I do want to give my initial thoughts on that, like, just kind of situation there. First of all, that tells me right then and there that BTS was not going to win Album of the Year. The Grammys are notorious. They did this back when BTS was nominated a few years ago. They are notorious for not picking BTS when it needed at that moment in time to win that Grammy, or just in general, they have a history of picking like the wrong person. Remember, this is a committee that chooses who wins these awards. This is not voted by the people like you would see at the AMAs. And by them doing this, adding a subcategory for best K-pop, or I can't remember if it was best pop album, aside from just album of the year, tells me that BTS was never going to win with Arirang this year, which is absolute dog if we're being completely honest, because nobody deserves the album of the year award more than them. In my opinion, the only other person that truly can compete, and this is just numbers wise, is Drake. Nobody else, not a single other person. And if we're being completely honest, the only reason Drake can't even compete is because he dropped 3, not one like Arirang and the boys, 3 albums on the same damn day. Of course, it gives him numbers. Everything is kind of trending there. I mean, he dropped 3 albums. And if you listen to him, and this is coming from a Drake fan as well, the albums were garbage. I'm going to be real. I don't think any of the albums were rated above a 7. And I'm a Drake fan. Like, I'm not pleased with any of these albums at all. I have a bias towards Kendrick. I have a bias towards Drake, and I have a bias towards BTS. Those are like my 3 favorite artists, if we're being real. Kendrick and BTS more than Drake, but I love Drake's music too, and I'm a huge fan. He does not deserve Album of the Year. It is BTS, without a doubt. The impact, the sales, continued support through streams on Spotify, YouTube, whatever the case may be. It is obvious this is their year. They performed at the World Cup. They won all those awards at the AMAs. They should and do deserve to win Album of the Year and any other award that they are nominated for here at the Grammys. No competition, hands down, low diff, whatever you want to say. It's not even close. Aside from that, that's pretty much all the information I know. So again, we're going to get in here. Sorry for the long introduction. Just wanted to kind of give my initial thoughts on what I know so far. I'm going to leave it up to Bora. So take it away, homegirl.
Hello, everyone. Right now, it's super late for me, but this is a historic event and I could not miss this moment. So all the BTS members just posted a statement on their Instagram stories, and they all say the same thing, the same message. This is Jimin, for example. This is Suga, same message. This is J-Hope. This is Jungkook. This is Jin. And this is RM. He added a picture. These are all the members so far, but it seems like this will be posted by all the members. And it's very interesting that they chose to announce this on their Instagram personal accounts. The translation says, "We've decided not to submit our work for this year's Grammy Awards. We hope music will be recognized and loved for what it is, rather than being divided by region or language." Thank you as always to ARMY and everyone who supports us.
Let them know. Let them know. We ain't here for the bullshiz. Let them know. Y'all are cheating us, and y'all know it. Why can't it just be music? Why? Why does there have to be divisions between what they just said, region, language? Why can't it just be these artists dropped albums? Which one was the best? Regardless of category, which one was the best? It's because BTS would win every year. Every time they drop an album, they'd win. But I'm 99% sure after they pulled this crap, especially when they should have won it years ago, the Grammys have it out for BTS. They want them just for the goddamn views. It's like, we're going to invite them. We know armies will watch. We know what armies are going to attend. We got the viewership. We got them there. And we know they should win. But we ain't going to vote them. We ain't going to pick them. We're not going to make them the winners. But at least we get that viewership. That's all it's about. It's using BTS for their benefit. And that's just how it feels to me. I'm going to be real. I wouldn't put up with it either. We have the best album regardless of the category, regardless of the artist, the genre, whatever. We have the best album this year. It's not even close. But to make it fair for everybody else, and we pity because we either don't like BTS and we wanted someone else to win, but their impact wasn't as great, we'll make a subgroup that strictly divides them into their own category so that they can win because they deserve to win. But that way that this person can win the album as well, because this is who we wanted to win. Propaganda, whatever industry plant, whatever the crap, whatever the case may be, they were cheated. And it's plain and simple.
Immediately, my first thought, we hope music will be recognized and loved for what it is rather than being divided by region or language. This is very clearly directed at the new Asian pop category at the Grammys, which I'm just going to say right now because finally the members are expressing their opinions.
Yeah.
That entire new category, Asian pop, is extremely racist. Because what do you mean Asian pop? This category was basically made to exclude Asian artists from the major categories, point blank period. Like there was no other reason. And as armies, myself, I always try to find the best in everything, and I always supported BTS because the Grammys have been a specific award show that BTS has always done their best for without doing any weird deals behind. Because here's the thing, if you know a little bit about how the Grammys work, it is known that certain artists get preferential treatment when they are being sent special packages with special gifts and when they start making connections in parties and stuff like that. And BTS has always tried their best with the Grammys, just like they have always tried their best with other award shows like the Billboard Music Awards and the American Music Awards, but they have always done everything that is fair, that they consider it should be a fair game. So
you know what I want to point out as well? I hate to cut you off, Bora, but y'all know, Bora, if you're watching this now, you're probably slapping me through the screen. You and Bora says if y'all happen to be watching. Y'all know, hey, if Bora's watching this, I'm looking at you right here, Bora. Look at me. Look at me. Eye to eye. You know I go on rants, especially when it comes to your videos, because your videos have such a great way of getting under my skin, if we're being real, because you are telling the truth, because you are spitting just straight facts. For someone like me who isn't aware of everything that's truly going on, making me aware of the situation and being the BTS fan that I am, along with your knowledge provided to me, enrages me, because the mistreatment that BTS is goddamn going through can be seen as racist. You're exactly right. I didn't think of it at first like that. I just see it as just unfair that we have to categorize them in their own thing. It's unfair. But I can see where you're coming from on the racial side of this argument. But let me just say, either way, racist, not racist, it is racist. It's just unfair to them. They are being so mistreated right now. And it's so sad because it feels like a couple years ago, I remember seeing a clip where RM and they're all on the Jimmy Fallon show, It's so sad that they went from saying that they would like a Grammy like this to now saying stuff like this and boycotting the Grammys. I mean, that's sad, but the Grammys did it to themselves. Like, what else do you want us to do?
BTS never shook hands behind the scenes, and they didn't send a for your consideration package with special gifts. But the new Asian pop category was just
We don't kiss ass to
completely
nobody.
ridiculous. And I am glad that they are taking this stance. This is very brave of them, you guys. All of this is literally happening as I speak. I think Taeyeon just posted. Yes, from what I'm being told here, this looks like Taeyeon's League of Legends level. I don't know anything about video games, but it looks like it. And it basically says the exact same message as the others. You can see the first characters is basically the same. It's the same message, which I will read again. We've decided not to submit our work for this year's Grammy Awards. We hope music will be recognized and loved for what it is, rather than being divided by region or language. Thank you as always to ARMY and everyone who supports us. This is so interesting because it's not even just about not submitting it for the Asian pop category. It looks like they're not submitting their entire work at Iran, basically. Here is the company statement. BTS declares boycott of next year's Grammy, will not submit works on the 29th. I was just informed that this is a real newspaper. The statement by Hype is real, but this is a newspaper that has been shady to BTS. The important thing that I get from this is Hype's statement mostly. The group BTS has announced that they will not submit its latest album Arirang and its tracks to the 2027 Grammy Awards. This is interpreted as a de facto boycott in response to the Grammys' recent changes to some of the award genres and judging criteria regarding K-pop.
I'm going to stop her there. Something just clicked. Right before I got on here, I was scrolling for dinner, and there is a post going around that shows, and again, somebody can clarify this for me, but it looks to be legitimate, that since the boys are boycotting the Grammys have decided to remove Butter and I believe Dynamite from their official pages. I will leave that on the screen here. Hopefully I have found that clip. I will leave it here. Hopefully, if not, I do apologize. Somebody can give more information if you do not see it here, or if you do see it here, but they have decided to fire back. And let me just say, that might not be the best idea. With BTS boycotting the Grammys, this will indeed, in fact, and I think they know this, affect viewership. Because myself, even if BTS couldn't make it, but they were nominated for an award, I'm still going to watch the Grammys in hopes that they win that award. The fact that they were probably going to be there, I was going to watch the Grammys. And if for some reason they decided just out of this completely, let's just say they decided it had nothing to do with the subdivision category of whatever of best Asian group or whatever. Let's say that never was a thing. And they were just like, you know what? We're not going to just submit anything to the Grammys. No hard feelings. We just don't want to submit anything. I still would probably watch the Grammys. But the fact that they've done this and BTS isn't willing to put up with their crap, the Grammys have now responded by removing, I believe, I'm doing this off the top of the head. I thought I just saw it. I saved it. Hopefully I saved it so that I can incorporate it. Butter and Dynamite from all their official pages. Because of something they did. You know what I'm saying? That's just being petty. Like, BTS has the right to respond this way for what you're doing. And your response by doing that, by retaliating back to their response, only tells me that you don't see a problem with what you did. And that is a problem. That's a big problem. I'm going to continue. Sorry for my rant.
It's crazy still to me how they were trying to combine all music from Asia. And the criteria was basically, it has to sound Asian enough. Excuse me? It has to have a majority of an Asian language. What about the Asian countries that speak English a lot? And it's racist. It is.
Half of this album is in English. And it didn't qualify for the regular, like, Grammy album of the year. You know what I'm saying? Like, half of this album is in English.
On the 29th, BTS
But
announced through the
that's
members' individual social media accounts, we have decided not to submit any works to this year's Grammys. Leader RM stated, we hope that music can be heard and loved for its own sake rather than being recognized by region or language. Adding, we thank ARMY, their fandom, and everyone who is always with us. In mid-June, the Grammys established a dedicated Asian pop category encompassing K-pop. The plan is to select winners by gathering only works that, quote, meaningfully use one or more Asian languages, such as K-pop, J-pop, Japanese pop, and C-pop, Chinese pop. At the time, the Grammys explained the rationale behind creating a dedicated genre for Asian pop, stating that Asian pop is one of the most important and enduring forces in the global music industry. This marks the first time the Grammys have established a special category exclusively for Asian music. Consequently, most local media outlets, including Gold Derby, a specialist in predicting the odds of major US awards, named K-pop and BTS. And that was also so disrespectful for BTS. I'm sorry, and this is just the reality. No one is really doing it like BTS. I need everyone to understand this for real this time. I'm not even joking. BTS's peers are Bad Bunny, Taylor Swift, Drake, Olivia Rodrigo, Bruno Mars, Harry Styles. The name
I'm going to be honest, out of all the artists she just named, if all those were, let's say, were mentioned or nominated for, let's say they all were nominated for the same award, Album of the Year. Let's just say that. I know Bad Bunny just performed at the Grammys, right? He's probably definitely one of the highest names up there. Nobody but BTS or Drake is winning that award. Out of all the names she just mentioned, I'm going to be real with y'all. Bruno Mars, Bad Bunny, Drake, BTS, all the names she just mentioned, those are the two that are winning Album of the Year. And realistically, if you heard the first rant at the beginning of the video, there's only one group or person that is winning that award, and we all know who that is. So I'm going to be real. Drake, your numbers were good. They're still charting, but it's not the same. Anybody with ears and just a simple ass mind would be able to listen to all three of Drake's albums and Arirang, and you can add all three of them if you want to. They still don't add to the quality and masterpiece that comes from Arirang. It's not the same. Drake gave us quality or quantity, and the boys gave us quality. And that's what it comes down to. Your three albums don't add up to one. Out of all those names she just mentioned, it's clear as day that BTS is winning.
That I just mentioned are in constant competition with BTS. I try to avoid a little bit those names in the channel because of respect for the competition, but I was getting kind of done and tired with the entire comparisons to K-pop groups and K-pop artists because it was just ridiculous. This category was going to put BTS in the nominees next to other artists who are not BTS's real competition, all in the name of quote-unquote celebrating Asian pop when that is not even an actual genre. It was just an excuse to include Asian artists in their own separate category and not actually include them in the major categories that they deserve to be in.
Exactly. And now that there was a subcategory that they're not going to participate in, some other group, I can see it now, some other Asian group is going to win, and they're going to go on that I can tell you now, that goddamn fandom is going to be like, we won and BTS didn't, knowing damn well that we pretty much just pulled ourselves out. But they're going to do it anyways because that's just how they freaking are, and that's how negative a lot of other fandoms are. I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of them. A lot of them. They just want to see BTS's downfall, and the fact that they didn't win a Grammy because they decided to withdraw themselves, allowing somebody else to win. People from that fandom are going to just hate and be disgusting and ugly. And mark my words, Drake is winning Album of the Year. Because BTS is not involved now,
is
Quote
on its
me.
way to be the most streamed album of 2026, and that scares a lot of people because how can you escape that? Literally, how can you escape Arirang? The only way you can escape Arirang this year is by excluding them and putting it in its own category. So this article continued, named K-pop and BTS as the likely first winners in this category. Conversely, some K-pop fans expressed concern, calling it another glass ceiling that refuses to grant K-pop high-profile major awards. Yes and no. I mean, I understand what this article is trying to say, but K-pop is so small compared to BTS. Literally, the reports of the major companies in South Korea just released 24 hours ago approximately, and it was just ridiculous how you could literally add the successes, add the numbers of all other major artists in the K-pop industry, and it would still not be able to surpass BTS. But of course, that is just in terms of numbers. The Grammys and Grammy followers like to say that numbers have nothing to do with the Grammys, it's about quality, but Arirang is definitely, in terms of quality, the most ambitious project from an Asian act, or in general this year, one of the most ambitious projects this year, without a doubt. And they were scared to admit that, in my opinion, okay? Currently, among the approximately 100 award categories the Grammys operate annually, the only main awards considered the highest honors are the 6 categories known as the general fields: Record of the Year, Album of the Year, Song of the Year, Non-Classical Producer, Non-Classical Composer, and Best New Artist. Typically, only the general fields and a select few high-profile categories attend the main ceremony to present trophies and are assigned major performance stages. On the other hand, trophies for very specific regional genres, such as the newly established Asian pop category, have typically been awarded at pre-ceremony events. So you can kind of see what would have happened if BTS submitted and the Grammys included them in just this Asian pop category, maybe top duo group, but most likely the Asian pop category and not the major categories, which would have been crazy to ignore Arirang from the major categories. But this is basically what would have happened because it's not a major category and it's a small category. BTS would basically not have their moment. After 13 years in the industry, they would not have had their moment on stage receiving their first Grammy Award. If they even decided to let them win, it would just be shelved, basically. They would have just ignored it. Some analysts suggest that the Grammys...
So I want to clarify here, maybe somebody, because I guess what I'm trying to fully understand is, and let me go back here a little bit. So with these main fields here, so Record of the Year, Album of the Year, Song of the Year, Non-Classical Producer, Non-Classical Composer, and Best New Artist, because they incorporated this subcategory for best like Asian pop group or whatever, Asian pop category, because BTS is only like, they're only based off the Grammys, only valid to contend for this award. And because of that, they're excluded from all these. Is that correct? Because if that is the case, that's what it sounds like to me. So somebody please clarify. Yeah, that's effed up. How can you exclude them from even, like, they can have best Asian pop album of the year and best album of the year. But it sounds like they're being excluded from all these just to be in this Asian pop category specifically. They could have Record of the Year. They could have Album of the Year, Song of the Year. Right? I mean, they definitely could. Like, they qualify for so much more and for everything because they should, and they deserve to. They deserve to be nominated for Record of the Year, Album of the Year, Song of the Year. Whatever they can be nominated for, they absolutely 100% deserve to. Like, they have to. But I think from what I kind of understood from her earlier is, and I kind of agree with that opinion if it is her opinion, because again, Bora's giving us facts here. This is a direct article. And on top of that, she just happens to throw her opinions in there as well. But that's what it sounds like is they were scared because of the success that Arirang has had. They would have swept the Grammys, which I don't see why that would even be a problem because Kendrick just did that, what, last year? What did he get, like 5 awards? He swept the Grammys. What, pretty much just Not Like Us. Just the song Not Like Us. He swept the goddamn Grammys. GNX was an incredible album. One of my favorites by Kendrick. But he pretty much swept the Grammys with Not Like Us. The diss track to Drake swept the Grammys. It wasn't a, if that was the case and that's the reason they're like, BTS is going to win too much, we got to put them in their own category and they're not able to qualify for these. It wasn't a problem when it was Kendrick. Why? Because he's American? Shout out to Kendrick. No disrespect. I'm just trying to understand. It's not disrespectful when it's him. It's not weird. They didn't put him in only a category that's best English album, best English album of the year. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, am I understanding that correctly? They put him in this category only and didn't allow him to qualify for this, or were, that's what it sounds like, right? Am I tripping? Somebody please explain.
First Grammy Award, if they even decided to let them win, it would just be shelved, basically. They would have just ignored it. Some analysts suggest that the Grammys' decision to specifically define the eligibility criteria for the Asian pop category as language was aimed at BTS. This is because the Grammys explicitly stated that Asian languages are used only in isolated words, ad-libs, or brief phrases, or lyrics written entirely in English are excluded. How dare they? This is also that stayed in my mind. I tried to stay positive, but now I can finally fucking say it because I was shocked. How dare these English-speaking people from the Grammy Academy create the criteria on which languages and how much of their language and how much of English Asian artists can use to be part of this category? How dare they? Like, it's insane. That was absolutely insane.
I'm doing my own research as well.
Most of the tracks on BTS's album Arirang, which is eligible for next year's Grammy, feature English lyrics. Well, that is true, but the majority is still in Korean. While the track Normal re-released in a Korean version meets the eligibility requirements the most, it has been assessed as having somewhat lower performance on major US charts compared.
Yeah, so I was looking. So for instance, like, again, you know, she tries to keep out like other artists for competition's sake. I'm going to actually bring up Bad Bunny here. Nothing against Bad Bunny, but like in 2026, he won Album of the Year and Best Urban Album of the Year. So he won both of them. Yes, Bad Bunny has won multiple Grammy Awards, Grammy wins. Yeah, 2021, 2022, 2023 were all pretty much just Best Urban Album. But in 2020, it says 2026, so I'm assuming it means maybe this previous one. He won Best Global Music Performance and Best Album of the Year and Best Urban Album of the Year. So he was qualified for multiple different sections. It seems like they're only telling BTS, you're only in this Asian category, and that's it. And again, if I'm understanding that correctly, please let me know. That's so
to the title track Time. I mean, yes, and I don't know about that because, well, that was for music video. I remember that BTS's Yet to Come was nominated, but the music video was nominated, so maybe they are onto something. Both Arirang and Swim topped the US Billboard main album and singles charts immediately after their release. It has been reported that HYBE and BTS's representatives reacted by stating, okay, finally, we have this statement. It is difficult to accept that the Grammys judging changes were made at a time when BTS is considered the most likely winner of a major award. It is difficult to accept that the Grammys judging changes were made at a time when BTS is considered the most likely winner of a major award. However, I've clarified that this is not a boycott at the company level. I know that this is not at the company level because I know a very specific other group that HYBE is pushing very hard. And I mean, I never had any problems with that. Sure, push, do the payola, that's fine. BTS never received that treatment. Of course, this is very clearly a decision by the BTS members. They posted it themselves on their personal Instagram accounts, and I'm sure that BTS are also just absolutely tired of the same conversations. Like, the Grammys are racist, we know this. An official stated, if other artists under our agency wish to submit entries, we plan to proceed with the submissions as scheduled. Don't care, do whatever you want. Analysts in the music industry suggest that BTS's declaration could influence the actions of other award ceremonies, given that the four major US popular music awards, the Grammy, Billboard Music Awards, American Music Awards, and MTV Video Music Awards, have all recently begun operating dedicated K-pop categories. This is because other award ceremonies face similar criticism from fandoms when they establish K-pop exclusive genres prior to the Grammys. Meanwhile, the 69th Grammy Award, which will be held without BTS, I love that they had to say that. The 69th Grammy Awards, which will be held without BTS, will take place on February 7th next year. Submissions began on the 7th and will continue until August 28th.
I understand that HYBE has more artists they might push, they made it very clear, and it's like I don't know. It's like, hey, don't take it out on us. It's their decision. It's not ours. Here's the problem I have with that. I do see what they're doing as a company that is in charge of multiple different groups. Now, just one. They're the reason you are who you are as a company. Right? They are. You remove BTS, what are you as a company? Are the other groups able to keep you afloat? I mean, let's be real here. Let me say, I understand probably from a company perspective why they have to acknowledge this. And if I'm BTS truly, I don't care. Say it was me. I'll gladly stand up and be like, yeah, it's not the company, it's us. We don't want anything to do with you. We don't want to submit anything. We see what you're doing, and we're not going to be a part of your crap. Like, we're not going to put up with it. And everybody else might, but we're not going to just sit here in silence and take this kind of negativity. We're not going to do it. But at the same time, reading this as well, like I said, from if I'm BTS, it sounds like the company's like, oh, it's them. Like, they're pointing the finger like at BTS, like, it's them. It's not us. Don't be mad. And here's where I also have a problem with that is, do you know what we've done for y'all as a group? It'd be nice to have a little bit of support from the company having our backs just a little bit. And I don't really get that sense from reading this paragraph with Bora. But again, I understand that they have other groups that they have to push, and you know, they're like stuck in the middle, and it's hard being the middleman. I get it. I see it from both ways, but truly BTS doesn't care. Like, they don't care. The company doesn't want to be involved, so what? We don't want to be. If they want to go play house and have this happy fun time with other groups from the company, and they want to go to the Grammys, screw them. We don't have to go, and we don't have to put up with it either. I don't know.
I will be honest, because I have been talking about this on the live streams as well. I was paying attention to the submission period because I was trying to figure out, maybe not figure out, but kind of see what the company was going to send for in there for your consideration little messages. They don't send packages like other artists. Other artists literally send beautiful, expensive vinyls and stuff, different type of merch to convince voters to vote for them. But BTS always did what they consider should be enough. This is our album, and the album is made with this in mind, and this is the message, and this was her process.
So it sounds like the Grammys don't like that BTS won't kiss ass to them. That's what it sounds like to me. And we're not going to kiss ass to anybody.
Maybe this is the time, the 2 weeks of BTS going back to South Korea, or maybe even before, these conversations have been happening, because it's not just about do we submit or not. Is if we want to submit, to which categories do we submit for? And I'm sure that those conversations were getting to a ridiculous point, because we've had these conversations as fans of BTS. And you know what? As fans of music in general, I also think about how artists and their labels are basically forcing themselves into a category to just be considered. That quote of Tyler, the Creator, saying that I'm glad that I got the Grammy and that I am being recognized, but the fact that you put me in this category when my album is not of this genre, he basically implied that they just put him in that category. They made him win in that category. So,
and I think I have the clip for that as well, where he talks about it. So Martin, if you'll insert it here somewhere so that they can see it. I think I have that clip.
It sucks that whenever we, and I mean guys that look like me, do anything that's genre bending or that's anything, they always put it in a rap or urban category, which is, and I don't like that urban word. It's just a politically correct way to say the N-word to me. So when I hear that, I'm just like, why can't we just be in pop? Why can't it just, you know what I mean? So I felt like half of me feels like the rap nomination was a backhanded compliment. Like, oh, my little cousin wants to play the game. Let's give him the unplugged controller so he could shut up and feel good about it. That's what it felt like a bit. But another half of me is very grateful that the art that I made could be acknowledged on a level like this when I don't do the radio stuff. I'm not played in Target. I'm in a whole different world than what a lot of people here listen to. So I'm grateful and like,
I'm 100% on board with Tyler. I agree as well. I mean,
he cannot be recognized in
the Grammys
major
on that boo-boo,
categories
bro.
as the complex artist that he is. Because especially these days with genres, it's like, how can you describe Ariran? Already with all of this conversation of genre, it was tedious enough. Now adding this Asian category, what does Asian pop even mean? Their description of K-pop, J-pop, Chinese pop, put it all together, that is Asian pop. Excuse me? That was crazy. So I'm sure that the conversations that the members were having with the labels, because this is the other thing, it's not just what BTS wants, it happens. No, they work with professionals that suggest the best songs they can submit for the specific categories that they have the more chances. And so maybe the suggestions were getting too ridiculous, because I was also thinking of my own suggestions and they were also ridiculous. This song about this in Korean, but this other song that is in English, it can be for pop duo group. So it just became this ridiculous, tedious process. So I totally respect this decision. And I also want to highlight
100%.
how brave this is. Because let's remember,
100%.
this is not just another BTS song. This is not just another BTS album. This is BTS's biggest album ever. This is their biggest project. No other album from their entire careers can match this one in terms of concept, in terms of achievements, in terms of complexity of the songwriting and producing process. They worked on that album for months with the top of the top producers and songwriters in the industry, and the members themselves were so involved with it. This is their creation. I'm sure that this is one of the projects that they are the most proud of. So take this precious album, take it apart, and then send it to different categories that don't make sense. It's just a soulless process, and I can totally understand why BTS decided to just take care of this project on its own, and it's going to be historic on its own. This is a big statement.
Yeah.
The statement says that for now is this project that they will not submit for the Grammys. I don't know about the future, but maybe the Grammys notice their mistake, and like the members are saying, they stop dividing these categories by region or language. These type of big statements, recently I can think of The Weeknd, for example, and you can think whatever you want about him, but what he did with the Grammys that year, calling them out, boycotting the Grammys, was a historic movement, and I can recognize that as a non-fan, and I applaud BTS for being this amazing as well.
I agree. It's not just The Weeknd. We heard The Weeknd is one, Tyler's one. Eminem's been saying this for the longest time. It's sad if we're being real. I'm going to insert that clip here as well. Eminem talking about the Grammys. I mean, that's another huge name. He's probably there alongside with BTS when it comes to selling records. I'm going to be real. I think he's surpassed like even The Weeknd and Tyler. I'm going to be real, but Eminem, like even he was calling out the BS before anybody when it comes to the Grammys. Like he is the first. Like Eminem's been talking about it for years. Ever since I think it was 50 Cent who didn't win album of the year or best artist of the year or something like that 20 years ago, he's been calling him out. And I think he said like he'll never go to the Grammys ever again.
But don't fucking get us all here to use your selling point for your fucking show and stiff everybody every single fucking time. And I said, after that point in time, I was like, don't ever ask me to fucking come here again. Please do not ask me. My answer is no for 100 million years. Never again will I fucking go to the Grammy.
Well, you know, I know the Jimmy Jam and some of the members of the board there are reaching out. Just Blaze and different folks are now trying to make it better. Would you ever consider, you know, joining the board and maybe you have a vote in it?
First of all, that vote is fake as fuck. That's not a real vote. That's not a real vote. They give it to who they want to give it to. They give it to their darlings, the fucking, oh, this got critical acclaim, but it sold 2 records. Like, it ain't about always what you sell. I get that, Vanilla Ice, I understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, but there comes a point where when an overwhelming something comes along that has this wave and impact on music, and you give it to fucking Lada fucking Dottie, It's like they're so fucking tone deaf to what is actually going on, but they're not in a sense of, oh, we're gonna get Beyonce here, we're gonna get Jay here, we can say all these names are gonna be here, and we'll make them think. I guarantee you that the people from the Grammys was on the phone with Beyonce's people or Jay-Z's people saying every year that they're up for something, hinting they're gonna win to get them to come there.
So you over that?
I fucking guarantee you.
You over that?
Like, he'll never go. They're only using him for the viewership. But I will say as well, moving forward, if I was BTS, I would never submit anything to the Grammys. You'll never win moving forward. And here's how I know that. You called them out on their BS. Like every other artist recently has definitely done. Like, y'all are on some bull crap, and it's not fair to us. It's not fair to anybody else. Y'all are not fair. Y'all are not. That's why every award show needs to literally just be like fan voted, but even at that, BTS would always win. But they deserve to always win. They're just that much better than y'all are. I'm sorry. Like, it's the truth. Like, I'm not trying to gaslight anybody. I'm not just biased towards BTS. I love Kendrick. I love Drake. I love The Weeknd. I love Tyler. Like, I love all these artists, bro. But Adidon's the best album, and I don't know how goddamn long besides GNX. And before then, I can't even tell you. Like, nothing compares to Adidon, and I can honestly admit probably, and I love GNX, but I'm not picking GNX over Adidon. And I love GNX. I don't know of any album in the last 10 years that, in my opinion, well, I would say the last 5, that's better than Adidon, for sure. Like, for sure. You called them out. First of all, they do something that's so diabolical that you're like, what? We got to call this out. We got to address this. You address it, and you do it in a way that's still professional, but just letting them know, like, we ain't going to take that from y'all. And their response is to remove your songs from their website. That's the level of petty that the Grammys are on. You'll never win moving forward. They will hold that grudge over you till the end of time. Don't submit another damn thing to them. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve the viewership that y'all are going to bring along. They don't deserve your amazing performances on stage, as much as that kills me, because I would have loved to see a performance by them at the Grammys. I know they don't deserve y'all. They don't deserve y'all there. They don't deserve a lot of artists, but they for damn sure don't deserve BTS and the viewership and everything that comes with BTS being and attending at the Grammys. They don't deserve. And don't ever submit it. They'll nominate you. You'll get put into the category, but you'll never win. You'll never win. Not because you're not good enough. Everybody knows that's not the case. It's because they're going to hold the grudge and be that petty moving forward. Just don't waste your time. But you know what I would do? You know what I would do? I believe, and I need to fact check this. Boris said earlier that the Grammys is going to be taking place next year, February 7th. Do the boys have a concert that day? I would do a live viewing and take away their damn viewership. Make it the lowest streamed and watched Grammy of all time. Go live. Do a live for it. Perform at the Super Bowl and blow their numbers out of the goddamn water. Something. I would do something. I would be petty back, but that's just me because I'm petty. BTS likes to, they're going to address you. They like to take the high road a lot of the times. Not me. I'm petty. That's why a lot of the times when shit gets brought up about BTS, negative, ugly, nasty things, it's hard for me to hold my tongue. I'm not BTS. I'm a huge fan, and I know that as an army, I represent them. And I represent other armies based off of my actions, which is why I try my best to keep my cool. But when you have 7 beautiful goddamn souls who are mistreated, talked badly about, knowing that in this case, they decided to opt out. But a lot of the times they can't do anything because it might hurt their reputation. They could get in trouble, whatever the case may be. And you pick on them because you know that you're cowardly. That's where I come in. I'm not going to sit around and just let them get bullied from ugly, nasty people or people at the Grammys being mistreated. Bora has a voice and she's speaking up. I'm speaking up. I've always felt like I've speaked up. There's so much times that people in my comment section are like, Martin, like, got to keep calm. Like, you got to, BTS it's hard. And that's what I'm saying. Even after 2.5 years of being in Army, it is hard. The mistreatment and level of disrespect that BTS is constantly undergoing. They're better than me. A lot of you armies are better than me. It's so hard to hold your tongue a lot of the time. It's so hard to not come on here and address a lot of the bullcrap that people say on social media, or just the negative and nasty things that are being reported about them through the media. It's hard. And it pisses me off. It irks the shiz out of me, bro, because they, out of all people, don't deserve that. They don't do anything to nobody. They spread lots of love, kindness, positivity, and what do they get in return? A lot of the time, outside from armies, is a lot of negativity. That's why they're so proud and dedicated and just loving of armies, because I don't know how anybody would have stayed sane without the love and support of armies, because to be there for them, to take this much crap, I don't know how anybody could go through it. Thank God they have each other, and thank God they have us.
Well, now I don't know how people in South Korea are going to react. I don't know how fans and haters are going to react. I'm literally just saying my opinions as soon as these statements came out. So all of this comes from the heart, okay? I have not read any single opinions out there, but whatever happens, whatever the media says, I don't care. You're not going to change my mind that this is historic and this is a loud statement.
I want to say this as well. I know she said that. She's saying it confidently. She's saying it with the idea that she's okay with receiving backlash because this is her feelings and this is how she feels. Let me say, I don't want to see any Bora negativity in my comment section. If you have something bad to say, please address me only. Do not attack her for her ideas. Attack me. Don't go to her video and attack her in her comment section. You have anything bad to say, please only speak of me.
At first, when I saw these screenshots, I thought this was such a strong message that I thought this was on Weverse. And Weverse is a platform for fans. So maybe I thought they were trying to let us fans know. So of course the message was going to get out and people were going to talk about it. But this is even more public. An Instagram story is more public. More people are going to watch it than just the fans. So I'm glad that they are going all out with their decision, and I fully support them. And
so I want to counteract, or at least talk a little bit more. I'm going on rants. I'm sorry, y'all. I know I talk a lot. What she just said there, she's surprised, or she thought like maybe that would be addressed to Weverse because it would be directed to the fans. No, they wanted that message to get out. It's like when leaks happen. You hear stuff within the company. This person's not a good person to work with. I wouldn't hire this person. Things get out like that on purpose. People want that information to get out. They wanted that information to get out. If they wanted to, and I agree with her, they had to put it just on Weverse for the fans to see only, to address them and be like, hey, because of unfortunate circumstances, we won't be submitting anything this year. Hope you guys understand. Love you all. And let's move forward. That'd have been it. They are sending a message by putting that public, and they wanted the right person or right company or right people to see it, and they did. They wanted that to get out. They didn't care that it was out, but the message that they're sending, they had a specific target, and it hit, and they were a bit sad and pissy about it because they went in, did something like delete their music off their pages, their direct pages. Yeah, we hurt some feelings. We wanted that information to get out. And be pissy all you want to, be petty all you want to. We said what we said, and that's it.
That I'm thinking about it, that Asian pop category, someone will get the Grammy in that category.
Yeah.
If it's a K-pop artist, you know what? It will forever be known that whichever artist decides to submit and get the Grammy in that category, I don't necessarily blame them. Like, they're just playing the game. That's fine. But don't you guys feel that maybe BTS not participating takes out the value of the category?
Say that again, Bora.
Like they're just playing the game, that's fine. But don't you guys feel that maybe BTS not participating takes out the value of the category?
Yeah, it does. You only won because BTS opted out. If I'm any other groups, I don't even want to win it no more. I was gonna lose either way, but I don't want to. I don't want it because they opted out. It'd be different if I was in the same category as BTS and won it above all these great artists and I earned it. But I only won it because BTS they opted out of the category. Bora dropping some bombs on y'all.
Everyone from the media, the analysts were saying this Asian pop category, BTS is going to submit and they're going to win. It is expected because Arirang is too big to ignore. Like the biggest, most complicated album from an Asian artist this year is without a doubt BTS. I would say this is the biggest album from an Asian artist in the past decade. So when you take the biggest competition that there is, then is winning in that category really worth it? Is the media going to respond with these other Asian artists got a Grammy before BTS? And if they do, are people actually going to run with that? Because it's going to sound so disingenuous. Like the biggest Asian artists are not participating.
They are going to run with that.
So is it really worth it anymore? Is creating this entire xenophobic category worth it? That's my question now. I personally think that could have been historic if the Grammys gave BTS a very well-deserved award, especially for Arirang. But now that I think about it, this move and the statement that comes with this move is the most historic result that I could have ever imagined. I was planning on making a series of videos to help the general public understand how amazing and complex Arirang is. And even though BTS is not going to submit Arirang for the Grammys, I'm still going to continue with this series idea to support Arirang because it will just let everyone know how ridiculous it was for the Grammys to create this Asian pop category and fumble BTS completely. Now they won't even get the engagement from BTS's attendance.
Yep.
So yeah, that's all. BTS did that.
That's going to go to do right there, ladies and gentlemen. Before I go, I just want to say I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when the 7 of them were talking about what the Grammys just did and how they felt about it. I would have loved to have been a fly on the goddamn wall to hear that conversation. We know what side they were leaning on because they put their message out there. But that was the professional approach. I want to hear their real emotions, feelings, and opinions on the matter. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall. Shout out to Bora. Again, appreciate her for giving all this information. I like I said, I greatly appreciate it. I will have a link to this video and her channel in the description down below. Do me a big favor. Hit this like button. Comment down below. Comment especially. I am curious to hear your guys' opinions. Again, do not attack Bora. Not on hers, not on mine. If you have something bad to say about the opinions that were given, attack me. Okay? Love you all. Like, comment, subscribe. And until next time, peace.